Hey there, I am so glad that you're here, and I'm thankful that you made it to this video. If you're watching this, you're probably about to join the worship team, and we're so thankful for that. We're thankful for you serving and giving of your time and your effort and your skills for the glory of God. And so one of the things that we always think about is how to play and how to get that sound out to the audience or congregation, but sometimes we don't think about how to hear. And so today what I'm going to show you is one of our pieces that is just kind of an introductory piece that is about the way that we listen to the audio that we're playing. And so a lot of places use what's called a floor wedge, or it's a speaker that's located on the stage that is how you hear. And what we use is actually called in-ear monitors. And it's basically headphones that are connected to a personal mixer. And so we're going to go through that, and so we're going to just talk just a little bit on that. You may have questions, and that's okay. You can ask those to me or to someone else who's been using them for a while, and hopefully this clears a little bit of the fog in terms of how to get started. So after this video, you'll be able to walk in and you'll at least not be looking at this weird device for the first time. So check it out. Here we go. Okay, so we've got the Aviom A-16 here, and some of these you might even see with a 2 or something, but this is what they're gonna look like. And this is the system we've been using for a long time, and it is pretty simple to use. So I'll just talk through each area, and then we'll talk about how to set that up as a person who's either leading with the microphone, or maybe you're on guitar. So the first thing is this panel up here, and this is your main like EQ and volume levels. So this is like your volume level for bass. This is volume level for treble, which is like high stuff, low end stuff. In terms of like pitches. And then this is your master volume, and the master volume, man, it can get pretty hot, so you can turn that. Those are just regular knobs. And then the next thing that would be important is this panel here is where you select different channels, and you have 16 channels that you can adjust the volume level on. And so like this one says vocal 1, so if you click that, then you would be selecting the option for vocal 1, and then so on and so forth. So each one has its own, and I guess that one, you gotta push a little harder on that one. So each one you would select, so electric guitar, acoustic guitar, they're labeled that way, and the labels can change. As you can tell, this one's kind of fallen off. So that's that section. If you are actually wanting to change the volume of one of these, then you would select the target that you want, like keys, and then you would come up to this panel here, and this is where you can turn up the volume like that all the way up to there, or so then you can reduce volume by turning that down and increase it by turning it up. And then the knob next to that one is called the pan knob. And so if you think about your headphones, you have a left one and a right one, and this can choose, I want keys, for instance, in my left ear only, all the way to the left. Or you can have keys in both ears if you get that on the green, and then you can have keys in the right ear. So you can use that to kind of filter out which ear things are going into, and that helps you hear it a little bit better sometimes. And then the other things that you can use here, you can actually mute channels and solo channels. So if you want to solo the keys, then you would hit solo on that. If you want to mute it, you can mute it, and it'll show with that little yellow light there, unmute. I don't really use those that often, but if that works for you, you can use that. And then there's also these two, which are important. So once you get your mix in, if you were to unplug the power cable, then, or when we turn off the power, it would erase all the settings that you got dialed in exactly how you want them. And so it's important to save it. So the way to save is you hold these two buttons, and then you press one of these channels, and then that is like a save channel. So we'll do that now. So we'll hold these two together, and then let's save it on channel 1. And you get that little response there, and then that means that it's saved. And so that way you can hold on to your mix from how you had it on the practice night, and then you'll get that back on Sunday. And then there's also a couple other functions to recall. You would click that. So now it's like waiting for you to press one of the recall buttons. So we'll recall number 1. Once you do that, then you've recalled your scene. So if for whatever reason somebody else has moved it and it's not showing that, then you can go back and select that. And then the other thing, which hopefully I can remember how to do this, is grouping. And so you would hold. No, I don't remember how to do this. This is embarrassing. I don't remember. I figured it out one day. I don't remember how to group. You don't really need to know how to group. So, but anyways, so that's the basic control panel, other than grouping, which you can ask me about that, or if somebody else knows. But the next thing is just talking about basic like operations. So the first thing is this master knob here. You really don't want to destroy your ears. That's so important for worship, and that should be obvious to you. But so the first thing that I tell people to do is when you walk in and you plug your ears in, turn the master down, because if you play like say electric guitar and he's in hot and you have that master turned up, there's a chance that you could get too much volume on your ears if you have your in-ears in all the way. And so what I would suggest is probably to find out whatever channel you are. So maybe you're electric guitar and you have your volume set there. Set your volume to not all the way at the top, but not all the way, not too low. Set it there so you have a little bit of wiggle room up and down. And then you want to roll this in until you get a good level. So that doesn't have to be the middle there, like straight up and down, but and then once you get that set, then I would suggest pulling in things up to where you need them. So then what you're doing is actually pulling your level or other people's levels up to you instead of trying to battle them. You need to hear you probably the most, and then there's going to be other things that you'll find out that you'll need to hear. Right now we're using a click, and that's one that's pretty important, but probably not more important than you though. You need to hear that, but you need to be able to hear yourself. And so probably the click and whoever's the worship leader from these vocal channels is going to be important for you to hear them. So that's kind of the main way to get those set up. And one thing that is important is to not just try to do, it's called the more syndrome, and you just think, oh, I need more acoustic, so I'll turn acoustic up. Oh, I need more bass guitar, so I'll turn that up. Sometimes it's helpful to think about what you need less of. So maybe I need less keys, and there's nothing there. Maybe I need less keys, and so you turn that down. Maybe you need less drums because they're just rocking and you can already hear them, so you might turn them way down. So kind of basing that around you, what you can control is helpful. If your keys, set that there, pull your volume level in until it's good for you, not hurting your ears, and then you'll be set there. The other thing, and this kind of comes with more guitars and just things that are similar, voices being similar. You can let's just take voices for example. So say number 1 is the worship leader. You have him or her set about right there. But then you have these, maybe there's a vocal 2 and a vocal 3. So vocal 2 might be on your right side. So you might just pan them a little bit right. And then vocal 3 might be on your left, so you might pan them a little bit left. Or maybe they're both on your right and you just want to separate them that way. That's a technique that you can use to separate them in your mind and get them kind of pushed out of being just in the center. When everything's coming through in the center, it kind of gets muddy sometimes, and so you can turn that left and right. So that's really helpful for mixing that stuff. The other one that's super important, which we'll always have this, but this one is ambient mic. An ambient mic is actually a mic in the room that collects just the reverb and crowd sound. And so the reason why that's important is because it helps you hear what is happening in the room. And so that kind of makes it sound real to you, where sometimes the only dry signal is kind of intense. I think that is about it. All right, hey, thanks for watching. Hopefully that was just a quick, brief explanation of what the Aviom is and how to use it. And so we're looking forward to seeing you on the stage and seeing you just getting ready to use this thing. And I hope that you'll have better success after watching this video. And when you walk in, you'll look at that thing, you'll know exactly what to do. So thanks for serving with us, and I hope that this was helpful for your volunteering success, and just getting to a place where you can hear what you need to hear, so that they can hear what we're all doing, so that God can be glorified. So, all right, we will see you on the stage. Thanks.